Now, I would like to suggest that you can't tell if your fish is healthy. You can tell if your fish is about to die. So the fish have unbelievable immune systems. They have body slimes that help to protect them. They have antibodies. They have an unbelievable ability to stay healthy. But when exposed to various stresses, could be lack of oxygen, could be aggression from other fish, could be exposure to disease, could be low water quality, or very commonly low nutrition, then the immune system of the fish slowly falls. Now, the fish has got a whole bunch of systems within the fish that they dedicate energy to. And the immune system is actually one of the first systems to collapse. So therefore, you can have a fish that's been exposed to a stress and its immune system can be completely failed. But you cannot tell, because a fish will spend all of its energy trying to look good. Because in the wild, if a fish appears stressed or a fish appears sick, the other fish will commonly kill that fish. So therefore, it is never in the fish's interest to stay looking stressed or stay looking sick. They actually do everything they can to trick each other into thinking that they're healthy. Now, if a fish can trick another fish into thinking that it's healthy, they can definitely trick you. So a fish will have an immune system that slowly falls and slowly falls and slowly falls until it gets to the point where the fish is basically going to die. At that point, it will start to show various signs, whether it breaks out with a bacterial infection, a parasitic infection. It may start behaving differently. It might start breathing heavily. Any of these signs that a fish has had a compromised immune system will basically be at the point where it's almost dead, when you can actually tell the difference. So as far as your fish are concerned, you need to be giving them the most stress-free environment that you can. You must be feeding them the highest quality food that you can and exposing them to the best quality water in a nice oxygen-rich environment, and providing that your fish are thriving and healthy over a long period of time, then you can definitely assume that you're doing a great job. On the other hand, you really don't want to get caught into the trap of seeing a fish without looking at all of those things. You need to look at the quality of the food. You need to look at the quality of the environment to actually get any sort of assess of how healthy that fish is. Because you can take a fish out of an environment which, as far as you can see, the fish is completely healthy. But if you haven't tested that water, you haven't analyzed that food, then it's very possible that you're taking a fish which to you looks completely healthy. Then you're going to potentially integrate it in with your fish, and you may then wonder why you've got a problem. But that fish may have, over a period of time, been exposed to various stresses, whether it be physical stresses, water quality stresses, disease stresses, or nutrient stresses, and you may take that fish and that fish may then break out with a problem, and then you may wonder why that problem suddenly occurred when it was really just that the fish had no strong immune system in the first place, because the fish had tricked you, because you'd thought that you can tell whether a fish is sick or not. Now, quarantining is the best way to avoid these problems. So regardless of how healthy you think a fish looks, it really is the best idea to quarantine your fish first. Because when you buy a fish, you don't know the level of stress that fish has been put through. You don't know that fish's journey. You don't know what's been involved with you getting that fish. So you may be getting a fish that to you looks completely healthy and happy, but then you might put it in your tank only to find that it quickly breaks out with disease, potentially wiping out all your other fish because you fell victim to the false confidence that you can tell if a fish is healthy. So I want to suggest that you can't tell if a fish is healthy. You can tell if the fish is about to die. If it is that bad that you can tell, then that fish is about to die. And you go putting that fish in with your other fish, and you would have to admit that you're crazy. But if you go putting fish that you don't know the history of in with your fish, then you're still crazy, because you actually can't tell whether that fish is healthy. You can only tell if it's going to die. So I really want to use this opportunity to encourage that you quarantine your fish. Once again, quarantining is relevant to what you have. If you have thousands of dollars worth of stock, then you are absolutely crazy not to quarantine. If you have hundreds of dollars worth of stock, then you may weigh up the inconvenience of quarantining. But make sure you're educated into this situation. Do not assume that you can tell that a fish is healthy, regardless of how experienced you are. And learn about and consider quarantine. You're never above it.